Belfast has a temperate climate with often windy conditions and rainfall throughout the year. The city frequently does, however, benefit from milder temperatures than other parts of the world at similar latitudes due to the effect of the Gulf Stream. There is significant rainfall here. On average, it rains for 157 days of the year. Average temperatures range from 1 degree Celsius on a winter's night to 19 degrees Celsius on a summer's day. Did you know that there is still a law in place forbidding the export of potatoes from Northern Ireland? According to the Marketing of Potatoes Act 1964, a constable may seize and may detain in custody any potatoes which are being or which are suspected by such an officer or constable of being sent out of Northern Ireland. So don't go sneaking any spuds out in your suitcase or you could be in trouble. Footballer George Best was born on the 22nd of May 1946, but began his professional career in England playing for Manchester United at the age of 17. He quickly became a legendary player, scoring 179 goals in 470 games over 11 years. Best's charisma on and off the pitch led to him becoming the first celebrity footballer. He lived a flamboyant and extravagant lifestyle, which led to troubles in his private life, including, most notably, alcoholism. He was involved in several other controversies throughout his adult life, including trouble with the law, when he was sentenced to 3 months imprisonment for drunk driving and assaulting a police officer. Owing to his alcoholism, Best struggled with health problems later in life, and in 2002 received a controversial liver transplant on the NHS. This was successful, but Best continued to drink, and on the 25th of November 2005, George Best sadly passed away from multiple organ failure. When speaking of his life, George once said, "I spent a lot of money on booze, girls, and fast cars. The rest, I just squandered." But despite his controversial lifestyle, he will be remembered as one of the greatest footballers in history and a son of Belfast. One of the biggest tragedies of his life is that despite playing for the Northern Irish national team on 37 occasions, Best never got to play for his country in the World Cup finals. The names of the city and county of Derry, or Londonderry, are the subject of a naming dispute between the Irish nationalists and unionists. Generally, although not always, nationalists favour using the name Derry and unionists using Londonderry. The naming debate became particularly politicised at the outset of the Troubles, with the mention of either name identifying the speaker with one of Northern Ireland's 2 main communities. Legally, the city and county are called Londonderry, but you may well spot the odd street sign that has the word London daubed over with black paint. For London. The decline of Belfast's industrial sector continued after the war, and by 1969, it was but a shadow of its former self. To make matters worse, Belfast was about to enter a dark period of time that some referred to as the Troubles, the conflict, or the war. as a whole, has a huge tradition for literature and the arts, and Belfast has more than its fair share of towering figures to boast of. Seamus Heaney is thought of as one of the greatest poets of our age. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1995 and was born. Kenneth Branagh, the famous actor and director, was also born in Belfast. His career, which saw him in serious roles as one of the great Shakespearean actors of recent times, also saw him in film roles, such as in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and the 2011 blockbuster Thor. He has been nominated for 5 Academy Awards, 5 Golden Globes, and has won many awards for his work. He was knighted to become Sir Kenneth Branagh in 2012. It is said this lamppost was inspired by one on the driveway to Campbell Cottage, which we pass on our tour. C.S. Lewis was great friends with J.R.R. Tolkien, writer of The Lord of the Rings, and they were both lecturing at Oxford University. Lewis was unfortunate to die on the same day as US President John F. Kennedy, so was not as honoured as he might have been when he died. However, in 2013, on the 50th anniversary of his death, a memorial was put up in his honour in Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey in London. We are now entering another of the 7 quarters of Belfast, the Gaeltacht Quarter, which here the Irish language is spoken as a first or second language. This area was named the Gaeltacht in 2002 and was the last of the Belfast quarters named. Right up until the 19th century, the Irish language was the most widely spoken language in Ireland, and it wasn't just spoken by one religion either. However, the Irish famine and its aftermath saw the population of Ireland plunged from just over 8 million down to just over 4 million in less than 60 years. And many of those leaving were Irish speakers. By the start of the 20th century, the use of the Irish language was in free-fall decline. We now enter the Falls area of Belfast, which is a predominantly Irish community. We will continue to see many wall murals and flags, but they will have very different content to what we'll soon see on the Shankill Road, because the people there see themselves as British. The murals will of course tell the sometimes tragic story of Belfast's past. To look at all the murals objectively, they must be viewed as historical, because they represent Belfast's recent history and not the present, where now both traditions have parity of esteem. Nowadays, if you are from Belfast, you can be either Irish or British, with no tradition being more dominant than the other. Approaching the stop for the Falls Memorial Garden, for the Bobby Sands mural and the Sinn Féin Centre. If you're leaving us here, please remember to take your headphones and all of your belongings with you. Bobby Sands was the most well known of the hunger strikers who died, as not only was he the first to die, but he had also been elected as a Westminster MP during the hunger strike. He was elected as an MP from Mana and South Tyrone as an attempt to unite. However, the British Prime Minister at the time, Margaret Thatcher, refused to give in to the prisoners' demands, and Sands died. in May 1981, 2 months after he started his hunger strike. Culture of local areas. Thousands have signed the wall, with many leaving messages of hope for the future. The words of the more famous are embedded into the wall in a section up ahead on the left. The words of the Dalai Lama are, "Open your arms to change, but don't let go of your values," whilst the words of Bill Clinton are, "Strength and wisdom are not opposing values." Despite the reason why these peace walls were erected in the first place, local community groups have worked together in recent times to transform Belfast into one of the safest cities in Europe to walk around. You could get off this bus anywhere in this area and you would be made equally welcome by everyone. They really are some of the friendliest people you'd hope to meet. Soon the Union flags we will see indicate that we are approaching the Shankill Road, and our next stop is coming up. It is close to the Spectrum Tourist Information Centre, which promotes the British culture of the Shankill Road area. The area in the middle of the Shankill Road features many striking murals, which will give you a great insight into the community's identity. Coming up is our stop for the Spectrum Tourist Information Centre and the Shankill Road wall murals. If you're leaving us here, please remember to take your headphones and all of your belongings with you.